Welcome to my channel. My name is Christina, and today I want to talk to you guys about what it's like living with depersonalization slash disassociation disorder. I wanted to make this video because I was looking through YouTube to see if I found anybody else who was going through this. I guess kind of as a way to not feel so alone. And sometimes, even though you know that you're not actually crazy, sometimes it just helps to see other people and hear other people's stories just to feel less crazy. Plus, a bunch of the other videos that I found on YouTube are all from 2 years ago or a couple years ago, maybe even last year. And a lot of them were actually about how people got over depersonalization, or how they are cured. And I'm not cured. I have a pretty severe case of it. I am pretty much depersonalized 24/7. It's very, very, very obvious to me when I'm not depersonalized. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, and hopefully maybe if somebody else is looking for some kind of guidance, maybe even just somebody to listen to so that they don't feel so alone. I hope that they can see this video, and I hope that they don't feel alone. And you can also feel free to leave a comment or ask them questions, and I can get back to you about it. So I want to talk to you guys about what depersonalization is, and more so try to describe what it is for some people who have never even heard of this. So there's a lot of different ways that people have described it. The way that I describe it, for me personally, when I'm trying to talk to people about it and trying to be open about my mental illness, I like to describe it as being in a movie. I tell people that my mind kind of thinks that it's in a movie, even though a part of my mind knows that it's not in a movie. It's kind of a weird, a weird balance almost. Sometimes you can feel like your body's not yours, and sometimes a lot of people self-harm, just to feel the pain. And that's kind of a cliche way of saying it, it's in a bunch of songs and a bunch of poems and stuff, you bleed just to know you're alive kind of a thing. And it sounds really corny and it sounds super emo, but it's really not. You kind of don't understand it unless you're in that situation, you're feeling that. Sometimes people pinch themselves, when I wear scrunchies around my wrist, I like to snap them just so I can kind of feel that pain. And it's so weird because sometimes you can, let's say you pinch yourself, so you'll pinch yourself and you'll acknowledge that pain is there, but you still don't connect with that pain. Another thing is looking in the mirror. You look in the mirror and you kind of don't recognize yourself. And I do this way too often. I'll look in the mirror and I'll kind of make different expressions, and you kind of feel like you're looking at somebody else. It's not really you. Your mind is not connecting to the fact that that's you. That's you in the mirror, but your mind doesn't think that it's you, or you don't know that it's you, kind of. It's weird. There's kind of another way to kind of describe it is you're kind of in a dream, and you feel like you're in a dream, and you're not in full control of your actions. Like sometimes, like this, like what I'm doing right now, I don't feel that. I kind of just did it, like I didn't think about doing it. I can kind of feel like you're just watching yourself from across the room, which is really weird. You, it's weird. And I super feel for like other people who go through this. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. But that's kind of like every single day of my life. I have a really hard time connecting to people emotionally. I have a really hard time keeping up with friends. I have a really hard time even connecting to people that I'm dating. And I've been really lucky, at least with this current relationship that I'm in. I've been dating my boyfriend for a couple months, over 3 years. And he has been really understanding and really helpful. So it's good to like have somebody in your mind that, or somebody in your life that you can kind of be open with. Some other effects of disassociation and depersonalization is having gaps in your memory, finding yourself in a strange place without really knowing how you got there. I kind of do this a lot. Sometimes I have therapy every Tuesday morning, and I will like get up and get ready, like put on my makeup and get dressed and like leave the house and be halfway walking to the train station, and then all of a sudden kind of be like, where the hell am I? Like I left my house and I didn't even realize that I left my house. And I'm kind of just going through the motions. I'm kind of just like walking, like I know that I have to be at this place. My body is just kind of moving me along to get to this place. I sometimes when I'm going to work, it's kind of the same. Like I don't really realize that I have left my job or left my house to go to my job. Excuse me. And I will kind of be like on my way there, or like even I could be on a train and all of a sudden just kind of like snap out of like this daze that I'm in, and not really even remember like leaving my house or like how I got to the train station, even though I know how I got there, but it's kind of like I don't. Some other things are like having out-of-body experiences, loss of feeling in some of your body parts, having distorted views of your body, forgetting important personal information, feeling kind of unreal, feeling like you're in a movie, feeling that like an environment that you should know and feel comfortable around, it feels different. It feels kind of unfamiliar. There's also like a sense of detachment from your emotions is a huge one. I don't know if I said having gaps in memory, which if I did, that's kind of funny. But having huge gaps of memory loss, not being able to focus, having attention problems, forgetting appointments, kind of like having a sense that people that you know, like your family and your friends, kind of feeling like they're strangers sometimes, finding items in your possession that you don't remember how you got or buying. Let's see. I guess I'd being unable to recognize your own image in the mirror. And sometimes I don't really have this, but sometimes other people have mentioned hearing voices or like saying things. Maybe even like having a distorted view of reality. Like sometimes things will like change colors. A lot of people have trouble reading because the words will kind of like squiggle around the page. Um, that doesn't happen to me, but other people have said that that's, you know, what happens to them. Also having no concept of time is a big one. Sometimes I will be on my phone for what I think is like 2 minutes, and then I look up and it's 7 hours has gone by. Or even like being at work, like I can go into work 8 hours, and then not realize that 8 hours has passed, and kind of feel like I just got to work. Stuff like that. So, like I said, I've had this for quite a while. I didn't know what it was when I first started realizing that something was wrong with my mind. I remember exactly like the moment that I like looked it up and found something on it. I was on the train going downtown. Where I was going, I don't remember. But I was on a train going downtown, and I was waiting for the train on the platform, and I realized that I felt like I was in a movie, like I wasn't really in my body, and that I was kind of just like watching myself. And so I Googled it on my phone, and I typed in feeling like you're in a movie. And a bunch of things came up, like how to be an extra on a TV set or a movie set, how to get into acting, you know, stuff like that. And then it had to have been like the second or third page that came up, and it was something like about how they decided that they started doing research on depersonalization and realized that depersonalization and disassociation disorder, previously they had always been linked to depression. So they were like a subcategory of depression. And then they decided that after doing like all this research that it actually, while it can be a symptom of depression, it can also be its own thing. So you can be depersonalized and disassociated without being depressed. And so that was the article that I found on it. And then, you know, I started listing like symptoms of depersonalization, and I was reading and I was like, holy shit, like that's what I have. Like that's exactly what what I'm trying to say, like how to describe it to myself. And the more that like the symptoms came up and the more they were talking about it, the more I was like, yeah, like this is it. This is what I have. And it wasn't scary to me at all. Like seeing how I was feeling in like my life, being on this page, it felt really relieving to know that it is a thing. You know, like I'm not crazy, and I'm not like some weird robot, you know, and it felt really comforting just to kind of know that enough people felt this way and like had this, that they were doing research on it, you know, like it wasn't like a 1 in a billion kind of thing. It was like a thing that was like happening, that they decided to do research on it. So there were enough people out there that felt just like how I felt. And, you know, were like living their lives like the way I live my life. So that was really comforting. There's no really other way to say it. There's also some physical effects to having depersonalization. They're pretty similar to having depression. You know, you get headaches, you get unexplained pain, shakiness, dizziness, unsteadiness, numbness, feeling faint. And then the one that I get all the time is nausea. Every single morning I wake up nauseous, and I hate telling people that I wake up feeling nauseous, because you know, the first thing they always say is, oh, you got morning sickness. It's like, no, trust me, it's not that. So that's kind of like how I came to like know what it was. I started doing like more research pretty recently, within the last year. I want to say starting in February or March maybe, I started going to therapy. And I like it. It's the first time I've ever been to a therapist. He's pretty cool. I can talk more about that in another video. Um, but I want to also mention like what it's another way that it's like having a mental illness even. I can only really speak for depersonalization or disassociation disorder. So how it happens is that I want to say that start off by saying that trauma is not a competition. It's not a competition, and you don't have to be grateful that it's not worse. Because a lot of people, they always say like, oh, like you don't feel good, but this there's other people who have it way worse than you. Like, other people like don't have legs, or like other people are blind and whatever, and that's awful to like compare what you're going through to what somebody else is going through. Struggles and trauma is not a competition. There's no reason to put yourself down just because you think that other people have it worse than you do. Another thing that people struggle with, and I know I struggle with it, is feeling like you have this mental disorder for no reason. So like sometimes when you're a kid, it can happen, you can get it even as an adult. But sometimes maybe when you're a kid, maybe when you're an adult, you go through something that's traumatic, or even like mildly traumatic. And because of this, you develop like disassociation, depersonalization. You can even develop body focus repetitive disorder, or something else. You can depression, anxiety, like anything. And your body and your mind sometimes use these as coping mechanisms to like get through this thing, or like try to like block this memory from your mind. And you feel like there's no reason for you to have this, because like I said, like there's always the people who are like, other people have it worse, and maybe you don't think that you have it that bad, but your mind is convincing you that you have it this bad. And you kind of convince yourself that your brain is being dramatic. That that you're taking it too far. And I just want to say that it's not true. Like your trauma and your mental disorder, and what you're going through, it's valid. It's valid, and it's not your fault that you have this. And sometimes it's hard to accept that you have a mental illness, especially like maybe if you're a person of color. A lot of times people of color are perceived to be like strong and like not weak in any way. And it's hard to like admit to people that you have a mental disorder and that you're struggling with like how you're feeling, and you're struggling to like kind of keep it all together, especially with like within the Latinx community, because you don't ever want to be the loca. You don't ever want your family to kind of dismiss you like you're just like the crazy person in the family, because every family has a crazy person. And it's rough, and it sucks. It sucks it sucks not having the words to describe what you're going through. But it also sucks not having somebody to talk to. Which before I felt comfortable enough talking to my boyfriend and like my friends about it, I went to YouTube and I looked for videos of other people, and I did find some videos, and I did find some people that I was like, hey, yeah, like this is great. Some of them didn't keep posting, and some of them, like I said, like they were cured of it, or like they don't have it every day like I do. Like they have like moments of it. So in a way, it's like, yeah, I relate to you, but it's also kind of hard to relate to them. But yeah, I just kind of ended on this. I will make more videos talking about it. I'll go more into detail about like stuff in my childhood and even like as an adult that I think that I and my therapist both kind of agree like led to this, or like not made me this way, but kind of made me this way. And I will also make more videos talking about like what it's like actually being a person of color, having a mental disorder, and I want to talk about other things too. So hopefully I'll keep up with that. I'll probably try to post another video sometime this week. But thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or just even like any statements, go ahead and leave a comment below. Yeah, so thank you, and I will see you guys later. Bye.